Every American will soon receive their own MedBed card.
Oh, can't wait.
I want to be in one.
You are familiar with this Antifa organization.
I am familiar with the Frantifa,
The Frantifa?
who I hope is watching right now, and I hope will be live there on Monday. Never heard of the Antifa, though.
I feel like have you been involved in these protests up in Portland? Things are going crazy
I
up there?
wish.
Yeah.
I wish. But shout out to them.
Here, let's play this clip. This is Kristi Noem. And she is saying, they're having to deal with this issue that they want to send in the U.S. military to fight against the riots that are taking place in Portland. And to fight against the armies of Antifa/ISIS, apparently, or something.
Frogs.
The people in frog outfits.
Yep, they're multiplying.
And the problem she has is that all the public officials in the city are saying, this is nothing what you're talking about is happening. So she's trying to push back on this in a cabinet meeting here.
They're out in the streets. And then I was in Portland, went out and back on Tuesday and met with the governor, met with the mayor, met with the chief of police and the superintendent of the highway patrol. They are all lying and disingenuous and dishonest people because as soon as you leave the room, then they make the exact opposite response. So we're looking at new facilities to purchase. They're in Portland too, and we're going to double down. And I told them if they didn't meet our demands for safety and security on the streets and work with us, then we were going to bring in more federal law enforcement. So I want to thank Pete and the Department of War for all their help. They've been fantastic, but
Slumpy over there.
And work with Pam on that. We're going to send more of our resources and men and women out there to keep it.
I mean,
Look at the teacups.
yeah, it's just having tea.
High tea.
Can we just play that one part again? Because it really does sound like they're liars. They all said they liked me, and then as soon as I leave the room, they all start talking and joking about me.
They talk
That's
behind
what it
my
said.
back, and they said I had too much filler, but actually it was very, very light. I did not buy it on Groupon like the first time when I did it. I'm not 25 anymore.
Met with the mayor, met with the chief of police and the superintendent of the highway patrol. They are all lying and
They're all sluts, and they're ugly and trash, and I did not like their handbags either.
I didn't want to go to the party anyway.
When I put out my duct tape wallets, they all said that they were nice and that I shouldn't put sparkles on them. And then as soon as I turn around, I realize that they've put sparkles on their duct tape wallets as a way of like trying to make me look like I
They
don't
told me
have
it
good
wasn't
duct tape
cool.
wallets.
It wasn't cool anymore, and they told me they weren't having a sleepover, and they were having a sleepover.
And we played the clip of her in Portland the other day and literally looking down upon one guy in a in a chicken suit and like 5 other people playing the Benny Hill song. And all they could say was like, it gets much worse at night. Let's just...
The Halloween creatures come out at night, actually.
It is... It's interesting because... Portland is a city that you can get people to pop off in Portland. Like, Portland, Seattle, like the West Coast, Oakland, protesters there, they are unafraid. They will get aggressive and...
Well, let's define aggressive. I mean, I also think that Portland is a place, much like San Francisco and Seattle to a lesser extent, where everyone also has like a box of costumes in their closet. Like everyone's got costume box, and they will bring it out for Pride, for Halloween, or for a protest against, the pigs or whatever.
But you've had when I think
like
of
it's going to be fun.
When I think of cities like where if they were to bring in, if you had told me like 2 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, they're going to bring in a bunch of federal guys in riot gear into Seattle, I wouldn't be surprised, or Portland, I wouldn't be surprised to hear like, okay, guys they're going to throw tear gas, and guys are going to throw the tear gas back. I mean, this is, and there has been a restraint, it feels like, from protesters that has in many ways like completely frustrated what like Miller was hoping to happen.
It's very like, yeah, the stick meme, do something, because they really want it to be 2020 again. They're like, oh, we just need to kill another unarmed black man, and make it really gruesome this time. Like they want to relive that. And mind you, they were in power during that moment. And it's kind of a preview of what we're living through now. And it's something that, sadly, the police have only been more militarized. And so they're all poised, to crack skulls, because in LA, for example, I mean, the cops were, as in Portland, which, it's interesting because, yes, the Portland PD are like, the chief is saying it's not dangerous, it's fine. But they also are protecting ICE. They are protecting CBP. They are also doing the crowd control. No Portland activist is a friend of the Portland PD. And in LA, it was the same thing. They were there to crack the skulls of the demonstrators, whereas CBP ICE were there to, abduct a nanny.
Right.
So they are, it's a moment of what does a democratically run city do in charge of the entire police force, and what can they do? I mean, in LA, it's basically nothing. Karen Bass had a moment that was literally by chance, which was painted as like, wow, she's really standing up. She wasn't really, it was by chance. And you got elected officials over there, the city council members are basically like, we're doing nonviolent direct action trainings. We don't know. But there is no world in which the police are actually going to protect protesters, protect them.
No.
Right? They are actually protecting ICE and CBP, even though, they're not letting them use the bathroom.
I mean, I think there's also, I mean, I think there's statutory reasons, and I think that there's
probably
I think having that expectation of the police, both from a cultural and statutory perspective, is wrong. The city can make things more difficult, but it's not conceivable that we're going to have police be directed,
protecting or serving.
Directing, right. I mean, being directed to inhibit ICE.
Right.
That's not going to happen. But you do have moments like that outside of Chicago, where you had that police force that clearly they were pissed, and you've got CPDs getting tear gassed, and we've seen it in this city. When the cops don't feel like doing anything, they figure out ways of not doing anything.
For sure.
And so
No, but it goes back to 2020, right? Of ultimately 2020 was about, who do police actually protect? What are they there for?
Of
and I think
course.
we're sort of reliving that moment, but again, without the mass uprising. I think there is a lot more defeatism, but I do think the humor, as we've all been speaking to, I don't know if you guys saw the video of someone just going up to an ICE agent with a tiny hand.
Yes.
I mean, beautiful.
That's beautiful. In fact, we have new characters have showed up at the Portland Detention Center. And I think the value of this, I mean, we've been talking about this for the past couple of days. I've never been a big wear a costume to a protest thing.
No way.
That's surprising for you, right? Yeah, I know. I don't. I come off as a sort of like a bread and circus.
Yeah.
But no,
clowning, just open clowning.
I am
2003.
I am more like put on a sport coat and a tie, so that when you go to a protest,
try to get a box pop. Excuse me.
Exactly.
I shall remind you of Posse Comitatus, sir.
But the costumes are so effective.
Yeah.
When the narrative is trying to be like, we've got to get federal authorities there to protect people from people like this.
I mean, who's wearing a more ridiculous costume?
But
Let's be real.
We've got to protect them from these people. Jimmy the Dino.
Oh, polar bear.
The polar bear, a turkey, a pony.
God.
What are
Is
those
that a
ponies
Pokemon?
called? What are those pretty My Ponies.
My Little Pony.
My
Wow.
Little Pony.
Yes.
And I think especially as Nome is doing the whole Bukele, El Salvador model of sending in film crews with your cops to get propaganda. This, you can't show this then.
Get out of my shot. I don't know if I can swear now.
Cut.
Get out of my shot. Katie Porter's going to come in.
Cut. Can we
Get out of my
the-
shot. Get out
Can we
of my
get
shot.
the raccoon, please, off the set?
That's what he meant when it was scarier at night, is there's a lot more costumes.
Dude, is that left
You should
shark?
see it at night. There's sharks.
That's left shark. That's Antifa shark.
And a panda, a whole bear. That's scary. Does that mean like
Is that
China?
American flag guy a pro ice guy?
Yeah, you can't tell.
You never know.
A
At
giraffe.
this point, I think it's anti. Look, I'm telling you, Portland, let me know if I'm wrong. You had these costumes. You had them. You didn't even have to go buy them.
But this is like it makes it so difficult for them
Yep.
to, and really the battle here, right? Like we watch Kristi Noem say they're lying. They're lying. All of the police, the mayor, they're all
Chief of
lying. The
police.
chief of police is lying. They're liars.
They actually can't control their
And-
city.
And then, you know, I'm sure Hannity runs that clip and is like, the Portland, the entire Portland Democratic blue run city are a bunch of liars. But the people that need to be convinced are the people in the sort of like surrounding areas of Portland who say like, what is going on down there is terrifying. And I'm glad the feds are coming to clean this up. And they can't do that. They cannot communicate that because of, you know, whatever it is. My Pretty Pony is there.
Well, it's My Little Pony. This is the second time and last time I will correct you. And also, it's important to know that the ICE detention center in Portland is in like a nice area. Like there's a Tesla store right in front. Like it's more upper middle class. It's not where like the normal Portland, you know, protests go down. So it's like a whole different neighborhood. And so I think that's also doing it, where like you have people who otherwise might not be go out to this demonstration who are there and showing up and are like, they were probably part of the Tesla takedown protest too. And they're like, yeah, it's chill. And again, the administration really, and I hate saying that like they really want a moment, because I think that we've heard mayors say that in order to temper protests. Like, don't give them what they want, which is basically code for don't protest, don't resist, don't stand up for your neighbors who are being disappeared right now. You know, so it's you damned if you do, damned if you don't, but definitely show up in more costumes.
I think, like, you know, I've seen a video of people following ICE vehicles, honking. That is very, very effective. Fortunately, like a lot of the people that ICE have arrested who have been protesting, who were charged with like impediment, or they have all those cases have been thrown out of court as soon as they get there. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.